Ladies and gentlemen, the biggest internet radio station on the planet.
Even the other radio stations are tuning in.
Your choice, your music. UChoiceRadio.com.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's the 808s and Drape, a.k.a. the Whateva Podcast, with your hosts, Tony Draper, Salo, and Beats Gordy. Today we have two great interviews. We have Freez Love. You may remember him from Def Comedy Jam, House Party 3. He was in Malcolm and Eddie. Today he's going to join us, drop some jewels, talk about the way of the world today, staying relevant, and just how he made it to his success. And you also have us, the guys. We're just going to shoot the breeze, talk about Kanye's new Gap deal. We're going to talk about the NBA and the 16 players that tested positive. So join us once again, UChoice Radio, every Saturday at 11 a.m.
Hey, I see you.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I sent the email to Freez.
Okay.
Yeah, so you should be tapping in soon.
And what if I get a background with my phone?
That's dope, man. I looked up all his movies. He's been in a lot more stuff than just House Party.
Yeah.
Yeah, I seen that too.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, man. That's pretty dope.
His stand-up funny too.
Mm-hmm. Man, I was like, I'm gonna have to pay for fucking BET, the little BET channel, because they got Fresh Prince, Martin, and I think they got Def Comedy Jam.
No, they don't got Def Comedy. I got BT Plus. They got Martin. I don't think they got Fresh Prince. They got Martin, House of Pain, the Meet the Browns. I don't know what else, other TV shows, but they don't have. I know they don't have Fresh Prince because they would have had more promo for Fresh Prince.
Yeah.
Like I
might have to send you. I might have to trade you an account. I might have to send you my HBO account for that BET account.
For sure, because the only other person that signed on is my mom. I just let her sign on because all Medea shit on there.
Oh yeah.
So she.
Hell yeah, we've been watching Martin on YouTube. Just the funniest clips. Man, him and Pam, Martin and Pam chemistry was like so long. Like they should have made. When Gina left, they should have just made him date Pam because their chemistry was what made the show.
She was supposed to have a spinoff because it was
really?
It was like 2 episodes before the last episode where she was working as an A&R, and Tyrese was actually on there, and it was supposed to be. It was like a whole cast of people. It was AJ Johnson who played Ezell. And a whole bunch of other people, like the white girl from the Parkers. She was a receptionist. Mm-hmm. But there was a whole cast of people on that one episode. I'm like, yeah, that was supposed to be a spinoff. But they never did it, I guess. Well, of course they never did it. But it's funny because she was Tisha Campbell's roommate when Martin came up with the show. And he went to her apartment and was like, well, yeah, the show's supposed to start auditioning. You can tell your roommate she can go audition. So she didn't even get the role. She went and auditioned and won the role.
Oh, wow.
Dang.
And that's crazy how that happened. The only person that was locked in was Cole because he had played Cockroach. So it was
what?
On Cosby Show. He was like the veteran actor on the show.
Mm-hmm. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's some shit.
Let me send the email to Freez again.
I see. I got okay, there we go. My light just came on. There we are.
All right.
Sir.
How you doing? Yeah, this is better.
All right. What up, homie?
How you doing today?
Good.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Thanks for joining.
I could tell the people in Tampa they got the good weather in the background.
Yep. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's good. I can never complain about this weather, boy, until it start raining like a motherfucker.
I love Tampa.
Yeah.
Tampa's, what is it? St. Pete is close to Tampa, right? St. Petersburg.
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool.
Yes, sir.
Go about 30 minutes away. That's where the best beaches is. Best seafood, crab legs. It's
You
like
know
they
who?
got it all.
My homeboy is Big Tim. You know Big Tim Kool-Aid that sells the gold teeth? You don't know?
Oh, man. No, I don't. I'm from Ohio.
Oh, okay. They gotta go down there and ask for big Kool-Aid with the gold teeth.
Hey.
That's in Tampa or St. Pete?
He's in St. Pete, but he does the security at the Tampa Improv.
Oh, I'll look him up then. Shoot, I'll holler at him. Sure.
That's my dude, man. We were down there. He had me all throughout Tampa, St. Pete, driving around, dropping off gold teeth.
Hey.
Last time I was in Tampa, I was preparing to go on a cruise ship. Like when we did the cruise, we did my cousin. We did a cruise in 2004 or 2003.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't have my my Social Security card or my birth certificate. They thought I wasn't gonna be on the plane. My mom was like, "Well, I'll stay here with you. We can watch the football game." I was like, "I don't like the Buccaneers."
Hey, in Tampa, man, you could be anybody. You could be from Jamaica, Cuba, Dominican Republic. They're not playing.
Yeah.
You serious too? I live right. My wife called my neighborhood the barrio. That's how it is. We gotta speak Spanish. It's the Spanish neighborhood, man.
Hey,
so,
go on and
make me want to ask you. Oh yeah.
Huh?
You said go ahead and learn. That's facts. I need to.
Yeah, learn, man. Because I mean, look, I don't know a lot of Spanish, but I know enough to where I can act like I know Spanish, and I don't want to be bothered.
Right. That's what it is. I teach at a school with a bunch of Cuban kids, man. They be eating me alive. I'm like, nah, enough is enough, man. I'm about to get on all my Spanish websites, man. Buy me some Rosetta Stone.
Yeah, yo. Hey, let me tell you, that stuff works. I mean, it just what I noticed is because I moved from Brooklyn to Washington Heights in New York, in Manhattan. And Washington Heights is like 95% Dominican. Shoot, more than that, 98% Dominican. And they thought because I didn't speak Spanish that I was Puerto Rican. And so, I had the serious culturalism between Dominicans and Puerto Ricans. They don't necessarily always get along. So they would be mad at me because they was thinking me and my wife were Puerto Ricans that didn't want to speak Spanish.
All right.
And I'm like, nah, man, I'm not none of y'all, man.
But did it really come from you playing Hector on Malcolm and Eddie?
No, it just came from how I look.
Okay.
And I can't front. I look like I'm Dominican. I seen too many people that were looking at me like, cousin? I'm like, no, nigga, no. Not unless you're from LA.
Yeah. But I was going to ask you about your upbringing from LA. Does that play a part in the type of roles and your comedy that you made? Like, I was looking up, seeing you from LA. You was in Baby Boy and the street character in the movies. Like, does that play a part in it?
It does, because, you have to understand when Hollywood, when they say that they have a male, African-American male, and I show up, in Hollywood, they like, oh no, this isn't gonna fly, because they speak for us. Plenty of black people know light-skinned black people. Plenty of black people they could be white even. They could be Latin. That's part of our culture. But when they depict us and when they show us, it's pretty stock. They want a brown-skinned black man, not too dark, not too light. And if you understand television and entertainment in a sense, it's all for selling. It's all for marketing. They're trying to sell products, and they need actors and they need characters to wrap those products around. So if they're trying to sell to the black market, Freez love is not going to fly. However, I can sell to the Dominican market or the Mexican, what I look like. So, with me being from Los Angeles, there's just a natural way you grow up of us and them. So the Latino community to me was always and them. It wasn't a part of my community. But then when I moved to New York and I was in a situation where, literally Spanish was thrust upon me, like your situation now. You say your wife calls it a bar. Well, everywhere you look is Spanish. So I just had to learn. I had to learn quick, in order to get simple stuff. Mira, ¿dónde es de leche? Like, where's the milk? You gotta know these things. And then I felt pretty stupid that I was from Los Angeles, California. I've grown up with plenty of Latino, plenty of opportunities to learn Spanish. And for some strange reason, I never did. And I felt, I was ashamed. I had to learn more Spanish because when you really get down to thinking about it, people of color are separated by language. You're talking about Black people that feel they're something different than me because of the person that conquered them. They speak Spanish because Spaniards conquered them. We speak English because English conquered us. You dig?
Right.
So here we have people of color being separated by European forces that neither one of us know anything about, really. So in that sense, I had to look at it like, look, man, language is a tool. And if you have an opportunity to get a tool for free, we should get it. Because all it's going to do is broaden your game and open more and more opportunity to you. Once I looked at it from that, I started putting more Latino jokes in my mix. More stuff that I could relate to from a personal, side of point of view, but it was honest and it involved Spanish. It involved Latin people, and people appreciated it. People that spoke Spanish, they were like, "Hey, you didn't say it right, but I love you because you tried."
Exactly. I think us as a people, we kind of take exposure for granted because 17-year-old me, I didn't care that I could graduate from high school without taking a foreign language.
Right.
So I was like, I wasn't trying to get French, Spanish, nothing. I was just trying to get by. But now, I look at job applications that say bilingual, and I'll be like, no. And it's kind of like sometimes I think about it, but sometimes I don't. But with that exposure, it could have made a big difference,
Yo, I'm telling you, and it's not only, it's not Black people, it's Americans. We as Americans. When I went, me and Charlie Murphy, thank God, rest in peace, we had a chance, we went all over the world doing comedy. And one of the things that was just, you feel stupid because you go to Stockholm, Sweden, and you're like, damn, I don't speak Swedish. And then someone will come up and say something to you in Swedish. You say, I'm sorry, I don't speak Swedish. Oh, no problem, I speak English. And then you're like, man, everybody speaks English, but everybody, the average person in Europe, the average person speaks 2 languages, and majority people speak 3 or 4. So just to be an American and only speak English, you feel stupid. You realize, like, man, they've been pimping us, man. We supposed to speak. I mean, this is the melting pot of the world. How do we not know languages from all over the world?
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's like you got to take that extra step just to learn 1 or 2 words. Then the next thing you know 10 words. Then the next thing you know 20 words or something. And that's kind of like where I stopped, because with those 20 words, I can get what I need. Exactly. But I do try to learn. If something comes across in a different language and I hear it, I'll stop somebody and ask, "Hey, what did you just say? Or how do you say that?" And to me, that's the best way to learn from people.
Yeah, I heard somebody say the arrogance of being an American is going to a foreign country and treating them like they foreign because they don't speak English.
Yeah, and we do that. You see yourself doing that. You're like, damn, I'm tripping. I'm the illegal alien.
I wanted to ask, you said that's the best way you learn.
Yeah.
I've seen your resume. You worked with basically all the kings of comedy. I've seen Eddie Griffin, D.L. Hughley, Bernie Mac. Did that help cultivate your game a lot?
I would say absolutely, because when you're a comedian or when you're an MC or when you're a producer, whatever you are, you got to get involved with the other people that are down with that. You got to, so you know what I'm saying? iron. What does it say? Steel sharpens steel.
Right.
That's the truth. You know, to when I worked with Bernie Mac, it was my first movie, House Party 3. And Bernie Mac wasn't he wasn't a household name at that time. Bernie Mac was just a comedian that I knew was funny, but the world didn't necessarily know how funny he was at that time.
They didn't get it.
They didn't get it yet, you know. But just to work with him at that level, and to work with Eddie Griffin at that level, or to work with D.L. Hughley, you know, I was on his show, the Hughley Show, and just to work with those people, and then you see people blow up, it's like confirmation for you. You like, yo, my time is coming, because I know people I've worked with. I've seen them at one level, and I've seen how they progressed. So it's been inspirational. It's always inspired me, and always let me know that if you hang in there, it'll pay off, you know. I'm still in that light. I'm not where I'm going in this business yet.
You making us feel like that moment. This is that moment for us, honestly. Me and Beats as cousins. I'm telling you, we watched House Party 1,000 times. Like we thought that was like, we realized. I'm surprised we're not scared of you right now. We thought you was scared. Like, man.
Well, thank you. Let me tell you. I always got to give it up to number one, the Kid and Play, because these were the first rappers that were starring in a movie franchise. House Party 2, what was the school one? Class Act.
Yeah.
And then House Party 3. And they put me on. Those dudes, hip hop artists, put me on. And they picked their whole crew. They picked the director, they picked the cinema photographers. They really executive produced those movies. Right. And the fact, I was at the Comedy Store doing comedy, and Eddie Griffin was in the movie. They came up to see Eddie Griffin, and Eddie said, yo, check out my man. His name's Freez Love. He's funny. They saw my act. They said, yo, you would be awesome for this role, the ex-con caterer. Why don't you come on down, man? And we want you in this movie. And that wasn't a casting director. That wasn't a big time producer. To me, that was Kid and Play, the rap stars. I didn't know anything else about the business yet. Just that, wait a minute, these dudes are rap stars. I've been a fan. I'm from the era of hip hop where we didn't get to choose to only like people from our city. It was hip hop, any kind of hip hop. We embraced it all. We had to. That was all we were getting. You weren't getting big radio stations and MTV raps. None of that was out yet. Right. So these dudes couldn't play. It didn't matter that they were from New York and I was from LA. They were hip hop, and I was hip hop. I loved it. So they put us on. They got the director, Eric Meza. Shout out to him, because he was a cat that he didn't try to, he just stood back. He said, look, here's the lines. Say what you feel, and we're going to make it work. And as a first-time actor, I couldn't have had a better experience, So I thank them, because they turned over a new leaf for me in life. I didn't, movies and stuff. Like when I told my parents that I was in the movie, they were like, oh, okay. And then a couple of days later, my mom said, I saw you on the bus. I wasn't on the bus. She said, no, your poster, your picture, you were on the side of a bus. You're in a movie. I said, I told you I was in a movie. He said, no, but I didn't know it was a real movie.
Right.
And that changed my life. All of a sudden, something that wasn't accessible, that was just a dream, was a reality. And it was on from that point. It was like, yo, you couldn't tell me nothing, man. I'm going to do this. I love this. I'm going to do this till I hit the dirt.
Now, was that before or after you appeared on Def Jam?
That was after. House Party 3 was I had been doing stand-up comedy for about 7 months when I got the role to shoot House Party 3. And before I was doing comedy, I started comedy in 92, but before I was doing comedy, I was in hip hop. I was in a rap group called AWP. And I was all in the whole underground hip hop circuit in LA, performing, doing battles in studios, doing shows, little coffee house shows, whatever it was, I was trying to do it.
That's how you.
And I talk about it in my special. I got a special that's coming out. It's actually being shopped right now, so I can't tell you where it's coming out, but I know it's coming out because it's fire. This is the most proud piece of work. I'm so more proud than anything is this special. So you guys gonna know when it comes. I'm gonna let everybody know.
That's
great. So, man, we're gonna look forward to it. But my girl, man, she get mad the way I say Adidas. Yeah. Like you said at House Party 3, she's like, why do y'all say it like that? I get up at House Party 3, man. My boy said it. I was like, man, you know, due to the fact, you know, Kid and Play, they was pretty much at the top of their careers.
Yeah.
And then you got AJ Johnson was pretty much up there too. But I was like, you know, trying to balance it out as far as like Kid and Play, and then you dealing with up and coming stars too, like you said, Bernie Mac.
Well, I think, you know, like AJ, I knew AJ because he was a comedian, and I knew him from the comedy circuit. And I didn't know him, but I knew who he was, and I knew he used to like to snap. He was a bagger, and that was my specialty. So I was just like, wait, and I was like, man, I hope this fool try to bag on me. I'm gonna wear him out, you know. and when I went to the audition, I didn't even know it was an audition. I literally thought that I was in the movie because they told me they said, yeah, come down to this address tomorrow, and man, you're gonna be in this movie. I was like, great. So I went to the address thinking, you know, I'm gonna do paperwork. And they said, yo, so you ready for your audition? I was like, audition? Nobody said audition. They said I'm in the movie. They said, well, no, everybody has to audition. So I was like, man, okay. And then out walks Kid and Play and AJ Johnson. And they had basically cast the role with AJ Johnson. It was his role. And it wasn't an extra person. I was like, you know, hey, what's up, fellas? I saw you last night. You told me to come down. I'm in the movie. I said, yeah, well, you still have to audition. And we think we've cast the role already. So, and then Eric Mazer, the director, said, wait a minute. Maybe there's a way we can, let's see you. Come on and audition. Maybe we could work something out. And I went in, and AJ was at the audition because he had just auditioned and he had basically bagged the role. And AJ, God bless him, he said, look, homie, all we got to do is just tear it up. Just be natural. I know who you are. You funny. Just be natural, and I'm going to just say what I would naturally say, and let's go. He said, man, we both could get this role. And we did. And we went in there. We went to the audition. And I'll never forget, because Kid had a pom-pom. He had a baseball hat on, but it was a circle cut out of the middle. And he had his dreads sticking out the circle like a pom-pom. And so the line was, hey, what did you guys do to get locked up anyway? And I was, the line itself said sodomy, but I didn't feel comfortable saying that. I was like, man, I don't want to say this, man. Come on, man. Say whatever you would say if someone asked you that. So he said, what are you in for? And I said, we in here for running up in pom-pom head niggas like you. Attitude, he's like, yeah, you look like you swallowed a cheerleader. She tried to shove her fist through your head. And we just kept bagging, just tearing them up. They said, that's it. You got it. We're going to make this work. Congratulations. You both cast. So AJ, you know, AJ was my first mentor, because when we were on the set, he was saying, look, just do it how we did in the audition, man. That's why we're here. They liked what we did in the audition, so just keep doing that. Don't hold back. If they want us to hold back, they'll tell us. Other than that, go hard. So I was on there trying to make a point. I wasn't even thinking this is going to be around for the rest of your life. Right. That wasn't on my mind. It was literally that moment at that time. And it just worked. Like when he said your grandmama's, he said your sister's on, your mama's on, your grandmama's straight on. that was real. That was all off the dome real.
AJ got me in trouble a few times because I was like kicking your nuts and make your jaw swell.
Right. All of that was off the dome. All that wasn't written. So I mean, and I knew to do that. Thank you to AJ Johnson. You know, but it was
your new material that you're working with now. Does it come from a sense of where the world is now, or are you taking us back a little bit? Or I know you're still raw.
Yeah, I mean, the way that I do comedy is I always have a portion of my show is material. And I've been in the game 28 years. So I have a lot of material. So I can always reach back and pull an old joke. And I do that just for a level of comfort. I rock that. I let the audience know, okay, this is what I call a home run joke. It's like you throw up the ball and just hit it out the park. I knock a couple of those out there just to confirm to the audience that I know what I'm doing. After I've done that, then I go off the dome. And when I go off the dome, the reason I do that is because I want to have my rawest feelings and a current event to be talked about. So like right now, if I do a set now, there's no way that I'm not going to talk about President Trump saying he had 1 million tickets when he only had 6,000. You know what I'm saying? I have to speak on that. I'm gonna speak on that on a stage. If I was to hit a stage now, I would be talking about that. I would be talking about pulling down all of these monuments. But I would reach back to material that I already have from when they first started tearing down the monuments. I'm like, don't tear down shit. Leave every monument. All you got to do is change the plaque. Instead of it saying, here stands General Lee, put a new plaque, say, here sits a pedophile, General Lee. You know, just change the whole narrative. You don't got to tear it down. Let him have a statue for being a raggedy slave owner and a pedophile and a child molester and a family ripper reporter. Just change the plaque.
Yeah, let's know who they really is.
I actually seen somebody do that. Somebody actually, it was one of those statues with somebody on a horse, and they just put a Klan sheet over the person.
Yeah.
And just left it there.
Leave it there. That's what I'm saying. Don't hide it. Tell people what they were. Just change the narrative, man. Because you're never going to get rid of General Lee. He's a part of our history. But let's be honest with who he really was. That's all I'm saying. You're not going to get rid of the past, but you got to brush all that paint and polish off and say what it really is. That's all you got to do.
Man, that was a great point.
So, I mean, that's where my comedy, I like it to be organic because, there's a lot, and that's me. That's not necessarily the way to do it. The best thing about stand-up comedy is you're an individual, and you could do it any way that you want to do it. And so that's the key, is finding out how it works for you and then applying that and making that how it goes down. Don't try to do what I'm doing.
You gotta be super like the police style. It's like remind me of that show, Whose Line Is It Anyway? To do it all based on like just off the dome, that just make me, I'm gonna have to go rewatch a lot of stuff. Just like, that's just amazing. I thought everything was pre-scripted to know that, like, to do music freestyle, that's almost easy because it's goofy, like rhyming words, but jokes off the.
Well, see, that's my thing. That's why I say for me, that's the easiest. Where I have comedian friends that are dope comedians. Like, for instance, Charlie Murphy. Charlie Murphy, that was my boy. We wrote together, we created together. And one thing that Charlie learned about his stand-up is that he has to have his stuff pre-written in a line on what material is going to go to what material is going to go to what material. If he didn't have that prearranged in his head, then whenever he would do his set, he would feel uncomfortable. And because of that discomfort, you're not doing the, you know what I'm saying? It's like throwing a wrench in your own thing. So you got to figure out what works for you. If writing out a joke completely and memorizing it works for you, that's what you do. The freestyle stuff worked for me because I've always been funny. I've always been a bagger in school, the capper. I snap on anybody. So that was a natural ability. The other thing is I was a battle MC. And I come from the era of hip hop where you did not show up with pre-written rhymes. You were getting clowned.
Right.
The part of the code of freestyling was it had to be off the dome. That was like the element. It had to be new. It had to be right there. So I had already had that natural instinct to do that, just from my being an MC. So when I started comedy, it was a relief because I was like, oh, I could freestyle and I don't have to worry about rhyming shit. So it was easy, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, just like you got metaphors and punchlines in hip hop, you got the same things in jokes, but they don't have to rhyme and they don't have to stay on beat. You create your own beat with your own flow, your own timing, your natural rhythm. I mean, all it is an exchange. I kick out the energy to the audience kicks it back to me, I kick it back to them, they kick it back to me, and we do this for an hour and a half. And everybody's happy when we leave. It's just when somebody throws a wrench in, like you get a heckler, or maybe a waitress drops a drink. That's all beautiful if you go off the dome because you can roll with it.
You one of those people, man, people be in the audience scared to talk, man.
Yeah, man. I mean, because you got to look at it like this. A lot of times, it's like you're at your table and you're talking, and you're not loud. You know, it's cool. But what happens is the cat that's sitting two tables in back of you sees you talking, and he wants to talk. Yeah. Hey, I'll talk too. And then two more people see them. Next thing you know, the whole audience is talking instead of watching the show. So you don't want to lose control. I mean, and for me, comedy was just another phase of being a master of ceremonies. If you're a master of ceremony, hey, comedy is a tool you may use to be the master. So I've always been funny. Even in my hip hop, I always put rhymes that were funny. Always made I got an album out. Check it out. This is the album. You can't see it. You can see it.
Yes. Okay.
It's called Photosentences. And I do a lot of there's funny rhymes in this rap and in this album too. It's a comedic hip hop album, but comedy is just like anger or just like sadness. It's just an emotion that you can play with your storytelling.
Right.
Exactly.
Speaking of hip hop, man, you brought up as far as being a true MC, how do you feel about the state of the hip hop game today?
Well, I feel that it's naturally where it's supposed to be. And what I mean is, if you ask Chuck Berry, how does he feel about rock and roll today? It's not the same thing he was doing, but this is where it naturally progressed to. Right. That's what hip hop is. Yes. Hip hop is it's not a check y'all, a 1 2 1 2. That's done. That's a wrap. It is what it is today. You got cats. I mean, today, in my era, you couldn't be no snitch and come out and rap. But the kids today, they don't care about that. That's not their thing. They don't care about anything. They don't care about lyrics. And where your tongue is in your mouth is gonna be how that wind sounds. That's all it is. Yeah. You cannot let that manipulate you, man. You got to take it in stride. Oh, that's how you feel about me? I'm not going to even show you that I'm mad. I'm just going to act accordingly. And I'm not going to let you know how I'm going to act so that I have the upper hand of knowing and you don't. I'm not going to use my words. I'm going to use my actions.
Yeah. Ooh, that's chess moves.
Chess moves, man. As a matter of fact, it's not even a chess move. It's a go move.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Man, you dropping gems today.
Hey, man, I want to learn how to play Go so that I want to see what brothers and sisters going to do when we learn how to play Go. We learn how, you see what we do in chess. We started with checkers. Then we dominated that, moved to chess. I want to see young kids in Watts and Harlem and St. Petersburg and Detroit and Chicago. I want to see them playing Go. Just kick us the rules and now let us go with this.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Thank you again for coming.
Man, thank you. Thank all of you, man. And I, hey, I know I talk a lot. I'm long-winded, but because I don't know when I'm going to die, nigga. So I'm going to get it all out there.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we don't mind at all.
Yeah, we come back anytime. We'd love to have you back, man. This is our classic episode. This is the first time I'm gonna listen to my own interviews. Like I gotta listen to this one. You got some gems.
Well, thank you, man. Yeah. I got a new podcast coming out. Just if you follow me at freezlove.com, you will know when the podcast comes out. Freez Talks is still out there. You can always go watch that on YouTube. There's 70 episodes that I will tell you are some of the funniest shit in the world. You can watch any episode, I stand on that. Any episode, and I promise you will see something in there that will make you laugh hard as hell. And this new podcast is going to be that same formula applied. I like to uplift people. I like to laugh, man. Forget feeling bad all the time, man. If even stuff that makes you angry, find a way to make it funny and win. Don't let nobody take you out of pocket, man. It's time to win, and it's time for us to love each other unconditionally. That's what I'm pushing. I'm not worried about racism. I'm worried about my people loving each other. Because once we loving each other, can't nobody hurt us.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying?
Big fact. I appreciate you too, man. I'm saying this is definitely a humble experience for all of us, man. Cause we grew up on you too, man. So,
look, it's a humbling experience for me because, nigga, I'm on Zoom. That's real talk, man. I thank you guys, man. I wish you the best of luck and blessings and everything you do, man. Win, and then go back and get some younger cats than you and teach them, and we could just keep sharing this knowledge, man. It's we all have to converse with each other. Dialogue is the key. We have to talk. We have to just love each other where we at. There's some of us that are fucked up in the head. We gotta love them too. That's the hard part. Loving the people that are our people that is fucked up. It's love. Because once we're loving each other, no one, you know what I'm saying? Just imagine if when they had our brother, God rest his soul, George Floyd, if people would have looked at him as being their actual brother instead of just a dude that's in trouble. But if your brother, your actual brother, you wouldn't stand there. You wouldn't stand there and film it. You wouldn't stand there and yell. You would rush them cops and push them off of them. And we'll deal with all of us getting arrested for doing that. Right. We can't sit back and watch each other get hurt. We got to speak up. We got to, hey, that ain't cool. Everybody start. You see somebody being messed with by the police. We're at that point. We have to stop. We have to see what's going on. We have to take out the cameras. And when it gets physical, we got to get physical. That's what I'm gonna say.
Yes, sir. We just talked about that last week about us coming together too. Look at the Arab community. Them sticking together, man. They come out very successful. I'm like, I know they can do it. We can do it.
And you gotta understand. Don't feel bad that we don't do that. Yeah, the Arabs do that. If the Jews do that, the Asians do that. Understand that the reason we don't do that is not because we don't want to do that. It's because there has been a real deal conscious effort to stop us from doing that.
Right. Yeah.
It's been a conscious effort to keep us disunified. A conscious effort for us to not trust each other. A conscious effort for us to fear each other. We got to overlook all of that. And that's why I say love, because love is the strongest thing. People try to make love look weak or look like passive or something. No, love is stronger than anything, stronger than hate, way stronger than hate. Let somebody you love be up underneath something you can't lift. You will lift it.
Right.
You can't snatch a van over somebody's head that you hate. Like you see somebody walking down the sidewalk and you just grab a van and throw it on them because you hate them. You ain't got that kind of strength for hate. But you can lift it up off of somebody, I bet you, if you love them. Right. So love. That's all I say, homie.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Once again, we got to be in touch. We
all right.
Follow with you.
Cool, man. Send me those links. Now, you know I'll promote.
All right.
Yes, sir.
All right, brothers. God bless, man. Y'all stay up.
Take it easy.
Sir.
All right, peace. I'll turn this off.
Ladies and gentlemen, the biggest internet radio station on the planet.
Even the other radio stations are tuning in.
Your choice, your music. UChoiceRadio.com.